So, should Dr. Jill Biden drop the doctor in her name because she's not a real doctor? Oh, I don't think so. Let's talk about what you should do the next time someone tries to diminish your position or your experience. So welcome to this episode. This episode is brought to you by the Lawyer Summit. You know, Joseph Epstein wrote this article in the Wall Street Journal asking Jill Biden to drop Dr. Biden from her name because she wasn't a real doctor. And it sounded and felt fraudulent, even a tad or a touch comic, he said. Now, I'm just wondering if Dr. J. Biden was this person and not this person, would he be saying the same thing? I don't think so. So here's pretty much how I felt about this article.
Hated it.
But unfortunately, this happens an awful lot in the workplace where people try to diminish your accomplishments, your achievements. And so there are key things that you can do to make sure that you present yourself as a professional and that you're not diminished in any way. First thing you want to do is get rid of just or only. Just or only. When you say, I'm just the paralegal here, I'm only an associate at the firm, I'm just a 3L, I'm only a third-year lawyer. What you're doing, you're telling the person that you are less than, and you're diminishing yourself. So be sure to take just or only right out of your vocabulary. Instead, state it positively and with conviction. I am the paralegal here, and I believe that this should be included in the matter. Or you say to the person, I am an associate at the firm. I've been here for the past 3 years. State it positively and with conviction, and people will believe it because you're confident about it. The second thing you want to be sure that you don't do is don't diminish your accomplishments. When someone pays you a compliment for the hard work that you've done, don't you be the one to diminish it. When I was in the corporate world, I was working really hard on this proposal and my boss gave me lots of kudos for it. We won that bid based on the proposal that I wrote, and the team and my boss didn't have to do a sales presentation. And do you want to know what I said to my boss when he gave me all those accolades? Oh, it was nothing.
Hello? Put the car in park.
Guess what? If you say it's nothing, they will treat it as nothing. So that's why it's important just to accept the compliment. Thank you so much. You know, I did work hard on that. Or thank you so much. I really appreciate that you noticed. But don't you be the one to diminish your accomplishment. And one of the most important things you want to make sure that you do is smoke out their biases. You know, I know of a very accomplished lawyer who usually finds herself the only female in a meeting. And usually when she's the only female there, they usually ask her or assume that she's the one who's going to take the minutes. Now, I think we've all been there. We've all been in a situation where what's considered in the workplace to be women's work is the work that a woman is supposed to do. Well, in this situation, you want to smoke out their biases, smoke them out. What you could respond and say is, gentlemen, I'm just curious as to why in a room filled with lawyers, it's assumed that I would be the one to do the minutes. And then you shut up and you let them justify their biases.
What a way to go.
In the silence, you're forcing them to justify their biases. Now, you notice that pronouns are very important here. You wouldn't want to say, you assume that I'm the one who's going to do the minutes, because that personalizes it. And when someone feels as if they're being attacked, then what's going to happen is they're going to be defensive, and then you're going to have this. You don't want that. So instead, refer to the situation. It's assumed that I would be the one to do the minutes. Does that make sense? In the article, Joseph Epstein claims that Dr. Jill Biden can't be a real doctor because she's never delivered a baby. Well, I beg to differ because in 1981, she delivered this baby. This woman is near and dear to my heart because she's my little sister, Jillian. And when Jillian got married, her name changed to Jillian Phillips. And then when she wrote her dissertation, her name changed again to Dr. Jillian Phillips.
In the formation.
Regardless of what Joseph Epstein says in his article, take your lesson from the two Dr. Jills. You have worked too hard and you have come too far for anyone to discount your position or to discredit your experience or your accomplishments. Be proud of them, highlight them, and remember that they are your accomplishments. My name is Sherine Clarke, and thank you for joining me for this episode, and I will see you in the next one.